Man can't stand, you can't fight. A man can't breathe, you can't fight. A man can't see, you can't fight.
Extreme situations require extreme measures.
Wow.
Awesome.
Chills, right? Every time.
Awesome. I can't watch that enough. That is amazing. It's amazing to be here with you today, Drew.
Yeah, Ken, thank you so much for joining me. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream Bonsai. I'm the Cobra Kai kid, and today I'm joined by Ken Cole. You probably recognize him from a lot of his Terry Silver YouTube videos. He does a lot of cool Cobra Kai stuff, a lot of analyses, breakdowns, and really cool videos. So you know, I know you're a diehard Terry Silver fan, so I thought, like, you know, what better topic than just Terry Silver, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a topic we could talk for days about, for sure.
Yeah. How many times do you think you've watched that little teaser?
Oh geez. Probably. Do I want to admit this? It's okay. We're among fans, right? I've probably seen that teaser about at least 50 times.
Wow.
Yeah, at least 50 times. And part of that is I did a video on it, so you know, I watched it over and over again, you know, but still, you played it again, and you're right, I got chills. It's great.
Yeah, there's like a lot of a lot of people didn't notice, but in the top left, like hidden like behind the black. No, I'm kidding.
I'm like, what? You found something.
I know. I was like trying to get, but people were like, wait, what? It's just a black background, but no, but it's like, I mean, I don't know. It's just like a epic. This dude's getting his own trailer. It's like a superhero trailer, and it's so like, it's such a classic, like, okay, his back is to the camera, zooms in, cuts to black. It's so simple, but like, just gives you like so many good feelings, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's perfect for that character. It's amazingly perfect for that character. My hat's off to the team that did that, because it just, to me, it encapsulated Terry perfectly and made me excited for season 4, because Terry will truly be back, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. So, do you want to just tell everyone, like, I know I described it, but do you want to tell everyone like who you are, your YouTube channel, and like what you do?
Sure. My name is Ken Cole. Full name is Kenneth Cole, not like the designer. I'm a comedian, mostly improvisational comedian, but a filmmaker. So I've done a lot of filmmaking, lots of actually tornado documentaries, but I've always loved comedy. So I've done some comedies, and then I just happened to stumble into doing videos about Cobra Kai and Terry Silver. I was always a huge fan growing up. I didn't realize how big a fan I was, but my wife just kept saying, like, Ken, you need to just do a video on Terry Silver. I don't want to hear about him anymore. And so before season 3 launched, people watching this may have seen it. I did a video called Why Terry Silver Rocks. It was just a therapeutic thing for me, but it blew up, and I totally didn't expect it, but I'm so happy because I know I'm not alone, and there's so many of us who love Terry Silver. So it's been amazing connecting with everyone, and it's just fun to pour so much thought and effort and attention into this really overlooked movie villain, I think.
Yeah. What I find remarkable, I'm actually going to check right now. So, even though there's so much like hype around Terry Silver and, you know, Thomas Ian Griffith, let's see.
Mm-hmm.
He only, think about this, he only has 19,000 followers on Instagram. Only 19,000.
Right. It's, you know, and I want to say that it might have been a comment on one of the videos I did and stuff, is I think someone basically said, I hope he realizes how much he's loved. You know, that was the comment. And it's true. It's sort of like those numbers are really deceiving, because I think he's had a huge impact, like, on an entire generation of Karate Kid fans. And I think the perception sometimes is Karate Kid 3 isn't as good. And so, you know, people, I don't know, mainstream or whatever, they don't focus on that. But really, I mean, he's such a great movie villain. And I think everyone has seen him. Like, everyone in my generation has watched that movie at least once, and they know who he is. And you know, as Siskel and Ebert were saying, I mean, he just did an amazing job in that movie. But yeah, you're right. It's really surprising. I think that's going to change, though. I mean, his social media is going to blow up. I mean, especially after the premiere of season 4, it'll blow up. What do you think? I mean, that's what I think. What do you think?
No, I completely agree. I think, you know, I mean, not a lot of people, I feel like not a lot of people, I would say the majority of Cobra Kai fans probably don't even know that he's even going to be in the new season, because we're talking, if we're looking at us hardcore fans, probably every single person watching right now, this has been old news. But for a general viewer who doesn't watch YouTube, they don't like I know people who love Cobra Kai, but then they don't go on YouTube. They don't like search up when the next season is. They don't search up anything. They just, oh, you finish it and then that's it. So there's so many people that won't know this character exists until the new season comes out. So I think, yeah, once the season drops, then it's gonna be like, you'll have those people that are like, wait, Terry Silver, like this, I love this guy, and it's like those are just the general viewers, but there's a lot of them. So that's when I think the social media is gonna blow up and everything. He deserves it. You know, he's amazing.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. And you know, I think you're right. I've talked to a lot of people, you know, around my age who saw the movies growing up, and they still haven't gotten around to watching the series Cobra Kai. And I mentioned this to them, that like we're on season 4 and Terry Silver's coming back, and they're like, what? Like all of a sudden that made it real to them, that this was like a real series that was continuing that universe. Like I think it's just shocking. Like I know I never thought we'd ever see Terry Silver again. And I'm just so excited, but I think that makes it real for everyone who saw him, you know, growing up.
Yeah. I remember watching season 1 for the first time, and then after I finished season 1, I watched all 3 of the Karate Kid movies to prepare myself for or the 4 Karate Kid movies, I guess, to prepare myself for season 2. And I'm like, okay, this Mike Barnes is gonna be in here, Terry Silver is gonna be in here. I was like not like thinking like logistically. I was just being like a fan, like, oh my god, like season 2, like he's coming in at the finale, Terry Silver. Obviously that didn't happen, but I think it was just such a natural progression. Like the timing is perfect. What do you think about that? Like about them waiting, you know, and now season 4, like, do you think this is the perfect time to bring him back?
Well, I mean, I was the same way. I watched the series with my wife, and the second, I think it's episode 7 in the first season, when they dropped Terry's name, like in that All Valley meeting with Johnny, and they said, you know, what is your association with this Terry Silver? When they brought him up in season 1, I'm like, oh, it's on. Like this is totally legit. They are embracing the entire canon of movies, and the second they said that, I knew that there had to be plans to bring him back at some point, because that's just too big of a name drop. So I was like you, like after the first season, I'm like, he could show up anytime. Like season 2, I'm like, is he going to come back? You know, I was watching KREESE come back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is Terry waiting in the wings? And then season 3, I'm like, all right, I got to make, so I made that video and I watched it, and I was expecting him to come back, and he did, just kind of in the flashback in a different way. So yeah, I'm with you. Like, I thought he was going to come back like at any moment.
Yeah. I definitely, like, I was like, you know, he has to come in at the end of season 3. Every season was a new person. So the end of season 1, it was KREESE. At the end of season 2, you got the text message with, or the Facebook friend request from Allie. And then end of season 3, it wasn't exactly him back, but it was the phone call, and it was a good feeling, but it was also like, oh, now we got to wait another year. We know he's coming, but now it's like a whole year. But this is a very unique thing that they're doing, because every character return has been a surprise. I would say, except for Chosen and Komiko, they were announced in the trailer, but even then, you know, with Silver, they set up his return at the end of the season, and now he has a trailer. Like, so what do you think about like that? The fact that like now the whole year has just been this like hype on Terry Silver, and it's not like he's getting a little cameo. He's
Right.
going to be the star of season 4 pretty much.
Right. Yeah. I'm really glad they built up to this, and I'm glad that he's bringing so much, attention to the series. He's going to be such a big role. I think that's great. What I'm most excited about too is the fact that all these characters were self-contained to their movies originally. They didn't mix much. You had Karate Kid 1, all the Cobras kind of went away by the beginning of Karate Kid 2, KREESE went away, and then I went to Okinawa. So you had Chosen and Sato, and Yukie and Kumiko, and they were totally separate. And then you got back to Karate Kid 3, and you have Terry Silver, who didn't interact with any of the original Cobras. And the idea that you're going to be bringing Terry into this universe where there are so many characters that he can interact with, because that's one thing. It's sort of like he interacted with just Miyagi and Daniel and KREESE and Mike Barnes pretty much, and his staff, and that's it. What if there are characters in the Cobra Kai universe that will kind of test him in a different way, than we've seen him being tested before? And if he's going to be in there so much, it's just, there's going to be so many opportunities for character interaction. I don't know. The possibilities are endless, I think.
I see what you did there. The quote, the Daniel Russo quote from Karate Kid 3.
It's endless. Yeah.
And then Miguel used that quote too when talking to Johnny about the website. He was like, the possibilities are endless. So many little things.
Well, I know we're going to talk about Terry, but I have to ask you, like, on behalf of my generation, you saw the series first and then you went back and watched the movies. Like, what did the movies seem like to you? Just like watching them through the first time.
So, I mean, I watched them 3 years ago, and I can't really say I kind of just watched it on my phone. I didn't really like do a whole like viewing experience. If I could go back, I definitely would have. But for me, it was all like when having watched Cobra Kai first and then going back and watching the Karate Kid movies, it was all for me like, how is this going to tie in with Cobra Kai? Because you saw what they did in season 1. I'm like, oh, they went to golf and stuff in Karate Kid. That's why they did it in Cobra Kai. In Karate Kid 2, they had some references they did it in season 1 of Cobra Kai. Like, so, my whole thing was like seeing these new these old characters. For me, they were new, and I'm like, okay, these guys have to be in Cobra Kai. We have to see them, especially like. There's so many like things, like even at the end of the tournament of Karate Kid 3, like what did Terry do right after that tournament? Did he just leave Daniel and Miyagi alone? Like, just little stuff like that. Do you think we'll ever figure that out? Do you think we'll find that out?
It's interesting because if you watch that tournament, there are just all these little things. Like, for instance, he kind of ingratiated himself to the entire All Valley. He donated the permanent home of the All Valley tournament. Like, if you listen to that announcer in Karate Kid 3, which is huge. Now, what happened after he lost? Obviously, as far as we know, there wasn't a chain of Cobra Kai dojos. And did Terry Silver actually follow through and donate that permanent home of the All Valley tournament? I don't know. Is the All Valley tournament existing because of him? But they seem to have banned him. It's kind of, they banned him for unethical behavior along with KREESE and Mike Barnes. And so what does that mean? Like, what went down? So I kind of guessed he could have maybe withdrawn his donation, because obviously I think he would have been very upset that he lost. But yeah, you can't imagine he was a happy camper after that. He's a guy who really enjoys planning things and controlling things, and it all blew up in his face. And I'm sure that's probably the thing he hates most of all.
Yeah. So do you think we'll find out like what happened? This would probably, they wouldn't be able to do this like in flashbacks, but just like exposition. Do you think we'll find out what happened after Karate Kid 3? Did Terry just go home? KREESE just went home? Did they just call it a day and they just completely ignored Daniel and Miyagi?
Right. I know. I think we're going to have to, at some point, learn what happened. And it's a tricky situation for Daniel and Miyagi too, because Terry Silver's a guy who buys off law enforcement, you know, he buys off, you know, courts. And so you've got this guy who's been targeting you, who is at least a multimillionaire, if not billionaire, with all these resources, and he lost. Did he just go away, or did he keep on pestering them, you know, for a certain time? I don't know. I think there are a number of questions. I think when you see, I know there's got to be a scene with Terry and Daniel together again. I would think at that point you would get some insight as to when was the last time they interacted. You know, what happened? How did they leave things? Did Terry torment Daniel anymore? I would think you'd have to answer those questions. I think. What do you think?
I'm gonna ask you if they don't answer that.
Yeah.
And they just kind of just play it off.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a plot hole? Would that be considered a plot hole?
I don't know. It depends how they play it off, because they're really good writers. Like I'm just remembering in the first season when, you know, I think Amanda said something like, you know, remember how that was like a bad idea to open that bonsai tree shop, you know, and like just kind of like throwaways like that. You know, I think it's possible things could go away with a throwaway. You know, they're really good writers. So if they wanted to not deal with that, they could. Although I would think, you know, because they're bringing up the trauma, you know, Sam was going through trauma, but Daniel was talking about his own experience of being traumatized. And, you know, especially, you know, if they're going to bring in Mark Barnes at some point, I think they're going to have to deal with what happened afterward. And I think with Terry's personality, it's totally possible that he felt like he was humiliated and wanted to just move on to things where he could control and dominate. And he wasted too much time on these people, and that was it. Like, I think that's compatible with his personality. So it's possible that, you know, he maybe was in legal jeopardy in Karate Kid 3. Maybe I don't know, maybe he had consequences from that. Maybe he fled the country. Maybe he worked internationally for a while, or maybe he has multiple mansions all around the world and he left the Valley. I don't know. So I don't know. There are different ways maybe to explain maybe a lack of relationship, but I would think you'd have to get something. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, when we're talking about Terry Silver, if there's like a safe word you want to do, because just to get me to be quiet, because I can talk about Terry Silver forever. So just interrupt me. Everyone in the chat, just interrupt me if I talk too much.
No, that's the point of this. Literally, we're just nerding out. Like I'm interested in what you have to say. I've talked about it nonstop. I'm sure people are annoyed by me talking about it nonstop. Actually, I don't think it ever gets annoying. It's Terry Silver.
It's Terry Silver.
It's Terry freaking Silver. So
that's right.
It never gets annoying. But no, dude, just go on about it. Like it's like there you go.
Got my Terry Silver shirt. Yeah.
Oh my. You even have a Terry Silver shirt. I just got the Cobra Kai.
There you go.
That's a cool shirt. Where'd you get that?
Thank you. I found it online. I really liked the drawing and design. It's like a really great likeness. And oops. I was going to show the bottom. The bottom says, "Now the real pain begins." So it's pretty awesome.
Now the real pain begins, Denny
yeah,
boy.
Great quote.
Oh wait.
Now the real pain begins, Danny boy.
That's awesome. Oh, it's great. I love it. Terry Silver's great. Well, I mean, Terry Silver. Okay, I am going to unironically say I think he's one of the greatest movie villains in history, and I want to get your thoughts on this, Drew, because you know, I don't know if I've ever seen a villain that's so broad, like. You know, he's such a broad villain. He's evil in so many ways, you know. And Thomasine Griffith can play that big, very theatrical, larger than life, but he's also like very specific.
Yeah.
So he can just play these scenes that are just very specific, and have these very specific personality traits, be very deceptive. He's like this megalomaniac. Right. But he's also just so focused on the little petty things. And he would just be very happy. Like if he didn't like you, he'd be very satisfied if he could just get a little zinger in at you. or like, you know, just a little insult or put you down just a little bit, you know. At the same time, he wants to rule the world. And so it's almost like he's this huge villain, but he's also this very like specific villain too. And I don't know if I've ever seen, I mean, he's unique, I think, in that regard. And Thomasine Griffith, like, I don't think that's a role that many, if any other actors could play, like, successfully. I mean, if you think about it, think of other actors trying to play Terry Silver. You know, it's tough, you know, because you have to lean into all the craziness of it, but you have to be able to be very believable and friendly, and be very specific at the same time. It's really, I don't know. I think he's one of the best, if not the best, movie villain in history.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, I agree that part of what makes him so evil and such a great like villain is how he can like flip on a switch. He can be nice to you. He could treat you like a son, like he did with Daniel.
Right.
He could take you under his wing, make you think like that he cares about you, and then he'll just turn against you. And he's just like, yeah, it's chaotic because you have someone like KREESE who would never do that. Like KREESE is just no mercy, strike first. He wouldn't play that like long-term game. That's a little scary. Terry Silver is willing to play a long-term game. He plays with emotions, and he just wants to like with KREESE, it's the famous quote is finish him, finish it. But now at the first All Valley tournament, KREESE tells Johnny to finish him. But then we have the third All Valley, or the second All Valley with Daniel versus Mike, and Terry saying, keep it going. Like let it, like keep switching back points. You score, and then like, you know, and then you get disqual or you lose a point. Like, just keep it going. He just wants to torture and to humiliate. So like that right there is a true sign of a psychopath. And that's why I think he's in terms of being a villain, a little more dynamic and a little more intimidating than KREESE.
Yeah, I love that point you made, because you're right. It's sort of like KREESE is like, finish him. And at the end of Karate Kid 1, he tells Bobby he wants Daniel out of commission, right? And Bobby says, but I can beat this guy. And he's like, out of commission. You know, it's interesting because Terry would be more on, he doesn't want them necessarily out of commission. He just wants to keep beating them over and over and over again. Like, he just wants to keep it going, like you're saying, kind of like torture them and torment them. Yeah, you're right. He's a psychopath.
Yeah. But I mean, I just think about like those scenes in Karate Kid 3. I feel like this is a little random, but I feel like in Cobra Kai, I just want a scene of, because every scene in Karate Kid 3, he steals the scene. Whatever scene he's in, he just steals it. So I want a scene in Cobra Kai, and I know this is a little random, but just like you have his like evil theme in the background, and just a montage of him just kind of doing his daily routine, like just like him waking up in the morning and what he does, and like just seeing the sophistication and like the elegance, and then also like the conniving, like, you know, like just that, like no dialogue, just seeing what he's doing. So I made a video on how Terry Silver will be introduced in season 4, and it's a totally wild card video. I know it's not right. But it was something along those lines where like the first time we see him, he's just doing his everyday thing, and you don't see his face, and then he gets a phone call, and then that's the tie-in from the end of season 3, but now it's from his perspective.
Right.
He answers the phone call, and yeah.
That would be great. I would love to see that. I'd love to see Terry's life. I'd love to see how he conducts himself in business. Like how does he present himself to everyone else on a normal day? You know, it's interesting. And I just heard this. I was watching some kind of video talking about psychopaths, and basically the thing with a psychopath is like they don't necessarily react with the same emotion. Like if everyone's sad about something, they don't understand that, but they'll try and mimic that. Really what keeps them going is like adrenaline, like drugs, like alcohol. It's like just that kind of need to be stimulated, you know, because they don't get that from emotions necessarily. I'm not a psychologist, but that's interesting if you think about Terry, because he definitely seems to be pushing this idea of enjoying the adrenaline, you know, of things. And it's interesting to see how he would get that in his normal business. Maybe it's illegal business. Maybe that's like the thrill of doing it. But yeah, how does he see himself? Like, right. Does he make eggs in the morning? Does he have it delivered, you know, to his bed? Does he put on his suit? You know, what do his offices look like? Does he demand that there are like 50 people in the room for his board meetings to listen to him talk? You know, what does he do? What else does he do on the side? Does he have other like hobbies or things? I love that idea, Drew. I think I hope we can see that.
Thank you. Have you ever watched Lost by any chance? The series Lost?
No, and just because of anxiety, because it's such a huge series and there are 8 seasons, and every time I like went to like, you know, click on it, I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I want to commit to that right now. But I know that's a horrible reason not to watch Lost. But no, tell me though, someone spoiled the ending for me. So anyway, but why? What were you thinking about Lost?
So that's kind of where I got my idea from. So basically, the end of the whole, like, most of the plot of the first season, they found like a hatch underground on the island, and they're trying to open this hatch. And at the end of season 1, they finally open the hatch, and there's like a shot of the hatch, and that's how season 1 ends. Season 2, the very beginning starts with a man. You have no idea who he is. It shows the back of his head, and he's like, wakes up in the morning and just does his daily routine. You have no idea where he is. It looks like a house or something. You don't know where he is, what he's doing, who this guy is. And then all of a sudden you hear an explosion. And then this guy like pulls out a gun and all of that. And you're like, wait, what the hell? And then like there's like a pan that reveals the people that just exploded the hatch. So now you're like, oh my God, this is what's at the bottom of the hatch. You didn't like know that. So that's kind of like my idea, like where you see the back of Silver, you see him doing his daily routine, and then he gets a phone call, and then once he picks it up, and then you hear Kreese's voice on the other end, that's when you're like, oh, like now it's tying together those 2 scenes from both seasons. Like it's literally interlapping over each other. Yeah,
I love it. I think that's great. I'd love to see that.
Thanks. I mean, Josh Hayden, if I know you already finished the 4th season, but like you could go back and just post-production, just like CGI some stuff.
Insert it in. Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
So you talked, and this gets me excited every time, because I think like no matter how many times you talk about it, it just keeps going. Interactions, character interactions. That's something. So John, Josh, and Hayden did like a Q&A on Twitter, like a video Q&A, and one of the questions was actually on character interactions. And I know me and you, like as film guys, like we love making movies or seeing movies where characters who you don't usually see together interact. And for example, even though they never interacted, like how cool was it that a lesson that Chosen from Karate Kid 2 taught Daniel was used to defeat KREESE. Chosen never met KREESE or anything, but then you had that connection there, and it's just sick. So yeah. No, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was saying that, yeah, that's what I love about the series, and that's why it's such a gold mine, like the entire universe. And I love that, you know, because that's like, you know, gets back to Karate Kid 2 and Miyagi's father, you know, Miyagi's father teaching Miyagi and Sato passing that down to Chosen. It's just something that Miyagi never taught Daniel back in those days, but that he knew if he needed to use it, he could. You know, yeah, it's just great. There's so many layers and textures to the universe, and I'm always super excited to see that type of thing in the series, because it just makes it so much richer.
Yeah. So let's let's do a little game. All right.
Okay.
Let's do
Nice.
let's talk about. I'm gonna name you a character, and
Mhm.
I want you to tell me if they will have any interaction with Silver, and if so, like, what do you think it'll be?
Okay.
We'll start normal, and then we'll get into like more specific.
Okay.
So the first one, so I think the obvious ones that we can obviously check off are Daniel, KREESE, and which are the only two people in the series who he actually knows. Yeah, right. Those are the only two people he actually knows, and then
Yeah, I think so.
and then
Right.
obviously we'll see a new interaction with Johnny. Right? Would you agree?
I agree. Yes, I think there will definitely be interactions with Johnny.
Okay. Then we got obviously Robbie and Tori. Right?
Uh-huh.
So what do you any of those like new connections like let's say Johnny, Robbie, and Tori are the obvious three because he's gonna be training Cobra Kai. We know he's gonna
Okay.
meet Johnny. So any of
It-
those connections, like how do you think those are gonna go?
I'd say yes. It seems likely that could happen. I'd say be careful with Terry. We don't quite know how he's going to come back into the series. We don't know how he's going to present himself when he comes back. And as far as like who he trains, it would make sense. Don't get me wrong, for him to train the Cobras, and he may do that. But I'm wondering if his mission in season 4 will necessarily be to train fighters for the tournament. It could be, but just I would say, I don't know. I'm just very interested to see how he's going to enter the series. He wants control of everything. Usually, assume we haven't seen him for 35 years. We don't know what he's been up to, but he seems to really enjoy deceiving, manipulating, and he could present himself to characters as, I don't know, a changed person, or his mission could be to, I don't know, drive a wedge between people, to cause chaos, to become a sympathetic figure for a while. Because I think if you're bringing Terry into the situation, this has gone beyond just a tournament. You're bringing Terry in because you want to psychologically disrupt and crush your enemy. And so he is a master manipulator, deceiver. He enjoys sowing chaos, and he loves these complicated plans. So, okay, I don't know if that's enough of a disclaimer, but so I think it's very possible he could be teaching them, but they're already converted. They're already part of Cobra Kai. What if Terry's mission is to weaken Miyagi-Do Eagle Fang before the tournament? He's so he might, I don't know, his mission might be different. I don't know. What do you think of that?
I agree. I think they're gonna go like down the Karate Kid 3 route with because we saw KREESE is a sensei, right? KREESE teaches a class.
Right.
He's like, that's his thing. Silver is not necessarily a sensei. Like we've never seen him teach a class. Do we know if he's ever teaching a class or no?
No, we don't. He's good at it, but we've never known if he's been interested in teaching.
Like multiple students at once.
Right. Yeah, we have no clue that he's really ever done that, like ever done a traditional class.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like that might not be his thing. And I feel like not in season 4, maybe like seeds of it will start, but I definitely feel like the ultimate thing will be Silver kind of taking over Cobra Kai without KREESE. Like they won't be on the same, like Silver likes to do his own thing is basically what I'm getting at. So I feel like Silver is going to try and KREESE is going to be teaching his students one thing, and then Silver is going to like kind of take Robbie aside, like when they're not in class and it's like, okay, like now I want to teach you something. And then it's going to kind of conflict with Kreese. And I'm not saying they're going to get in a whole argument, but just the fact that Silver is kind of doing these things without Kreese, going off on his own, doing this, doing that. I feel like Silver's going to be like, oh no, buddy, I'm looking out for you. I'm looking out for you. And then Kreese is going to be like, no, I know. But in the back of his head, it's going to be that, like, is he looking out for me or is he looking out for himself?
Right. I love that thought because that's Terry, right? Like he, in everything we've seen of him, he likes control over the situation, right? He gave Kreese his Cobra Kai dojo, essentially. You know, that was like his gift to him. He likes being in charge. Even in Karate Kid 3, the interaction between those two, he always had the upper hand. He always had the power in the relationship. Like Kreese wouldn't go against Terry. You know, maybe he was trying to manipulate Terry a little bit, but he would never go against Terry because Terry had all the money. He had all the power. And Terry enjoys that. So, you know, he really put himself into that whole thing in Karate Kid 3 too. His face, you know, at the tournament, he spoke. He was the one who spoke. He was the one who promised this chain of Cobra Kai dojos. It was his company that was connected to it. And so he really invested himself in that. And I think it seemed like he was very serious on expanding this, like basically taking what John Kreese had done and making it bigger. It's like, we're going to do a chain of them. We're going to have a whole Cobra Kai franchise and it's going to take over the valley. You know, it's like his domination plans. And so I think you're right. It's sort of like you're bringing Terry into this. I don't think Terry thinks small. And so I think very naturally he's going to want to control things. And I think he thinks he's better. He'll never say it out loud. I think it's really complicated. Like back in Vietnam, John Kreese was the captain. So, you know, he looked up to him. And I'm sure that John Kreese, if he was a karate champion, U.S. Army from 1970 through 1972, that's 3 years of being karate champion. So Terry wasn't, as far as I know. So maybe Terry was jealous. Maybe that's why we see Terry train so hard in his spare time, because he's trying to, you know, be the best, because that's kind of in his personality. So there might be kind of like this weird jealousy thing going back and forth, even though they're friends. I think if we see more stuff in Vietnam, we're going to see, which there's a video you did recently we can get back to, you know, about that. But basically, we're going to see, like in Vietnam, that some messed up stuff happened, like leading up to Cobra Kai. I bet they have a really kind of interesting, weird relationship. But you know, going into the future, you're right. I think Terry naturally would think he would know the best thing, that he's smarter, you know, that he's better at business, and that he knows how things should be done. And that's the question: is Kreese going to go along with that or not? You know, I think what you're saying makes total sense for his character.
Yeah. What video are you referring to? I'm just curious. I've like no
Okay.
idea.
So you remember the one where Hayden wrote a haiku about willing to kill for Kreese?
You think that's going to be in a flashback?
Okay. It's anything's possible with Terry. Like my sense is Terry, I don't think he kind of like what we said, like Kreese is more about finish him, you know. Terry's more about keeping it going and keep the punishment and the pain going. And if you kill someone, you can't cause them any more pain. So I would think naturally Terry wouldn't necessarily want to kill someone. So the question would be, he will kill for Kreese. So who would Kreese want dead? And I don't know, the obvious thing would be he probably killed for Kreese in Vietnam. I don't know what the situation is like during the war, but you know, and maybe it's something where Kreese just implied something and Terry took it too far, or you know, just random ideas. Or he could kill someone in the series. I don't know. I guess the question would be who would Kreese want dead, or who would threaten Kreese to the point where Terry would have to intervene and kill someone.
Well, I think Abby in the chat sums it all up right here with this comment. Season 10, they all end up murdering each other.
Yes, yes. That's, oh gosh, it's just a great tragedy, and we don't know it yet. But I don't know. What do you think, Drew? Like, because you did a video on that. I think everyone should check it out. About Terry be willing, not that he would kill for KREESE, but he will.
Yes.
So what do you think?
So Hayden is very, very interesting with his tweets, and like a lot of times he trolls with fans. He says things, and then like he has this whole thing with the Honeycrisp season, like September, whatever.
Right.
That's all. Like he likes to just troll with fans, but at the same time, though, a lot of the stuff that he says ends up being true. A fan asked him on Twitter. They said, they said bring back Tamlin Tamita. This was like way before the season 3 trailer, and he said okay. That I mean, he literally said, he just said okay, and I mean,
right,
that right there, he would not say that if it wasn't going to happen, because he's not going to get our excitement up and then just like, oh no, we're not. Like, so that right there, even though he's kind of like trolling, he's telling the truth. And then I literally was like, okay, like she's going to be in season 3, and then she was in season 3. And another thing he said, something like someone asked, like, does Tori get out of juvie or something? This was before season 3, and he literally said she gets out, you'll see why. Like, kind of a spoiler. So and we did find out she was on probation. So like, just like, I don't think, especially for him to work on a haiku, that must have taken at least 5 minutes, so put some time into it. And yes, the syllables would have been the same if he said Terry would kill for KREESE, but he says Terry will kill. And I mean, that right there, I think, has to show that whether it's in the flashback or in the future, the reason why I am going to say it's in the future is because I don't know about season 4, but very possible season 5. I do think he's going to kill somebody, because season 1 was so lighthearted. Even though it got epic with the tournament and all, it was very lighthearted. Season 2 was also lighthearted. I had such a fun time watching. I'm like, oh yeah, this is so cool. We're in the summer. It's awesome. Then Miguel falls off a freaking balcony. I'm like, what the? And I'm like, the show can never be the same. Right from there, the show can't go back to being just dojo versus dojo, no consequences. And then season 3, like Robby's in juvie, like KREESE tries to kill Johnny. It's getting darker and darker, to the point where KREESE tried to kill Johnny. He tried to kill Daniel. Daniel almost killed KREESE. Like, you can't keep doing this back and forth thing. I think because the writers are saying they want to go at least 6-7 seasons, I think you have to start. As much as I hate to say it, I feel like death is kind of inevitable for characters in the future to raise the stakes. Like, how else could the stakes get higher,
Right. Yeah, I know. It's sort of like, I don't know. I think you could be right. I think he could do it. I think from what we know of him, and this is my own guess, the only reason he would do that is basically for KREESE. Like, I don't know if he would kill for himself. I don't know if he needs to. But again, we don't know where he is in his life, at this point, 35 years later. But he could. I know that they've done such a great job writing this series, and I know they're going to continue to do that. So I think if someone dies, it'll be the right way, and that's, it's another question too. Like, what if Terry hatched a plan and it didn't go quite right, and he didn't mean to actually kill someone, but he does, you know what I mean? Or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. I think you have a good idea. Yeah, we'll have to see. Terry brings in so much peril, I think, for everyone. He's just a really bad dude.
Yeah. Like, I know it's obviously, even though Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai is a little far-fetched in some ways, where like obviously this might not be like the most realistic, like they could call the police or whatever, but
Right.
when we look at it, it's easy to just say, oh, Terry's so bad he's gonna kill someone, but no, like if he kills someone, he's going to jail. That's it. There's no, but there's a way around it. Like maybe he doesn't exactly kill someone himself, but maybe
Right.
he is responsible for it in a way.
Right.
I mean,
is it possible that he very much could fully intend to kill someone, but he doesn't, but he would have? Does that make sense? Like he was getting ready and there was something that saved that person at the last minute, but he was fully willing to go through and kill someone, I don't know, but yeah.
Do you think, okay, so Daniel Terry Silver fight in season 4. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Let's just say that. Do you think when Johnny and Daniel are fighting, they're just trying to win? That's all they're trying to do.
Right.
When Daniel was fighting KREESE, when Johnny was fighting KREESE, they were fighting to kill. Like both of them, because Johnny grabbed the sai, KREESE choked Johnny. So do you think if Daniel and Terry fight, do you think Terry is trying to kill Daniel in that fight?
That's a good question. I would always lean towards, and again, I guess we don't know what Terry's been up to or how he might have changed since we saw him in Karate Kid 3. But my read on the character is he wouldn't kill. He wouldn't enjoy killing like someone he could torment. Like he would never want to kill Daniel. I think he'd be much happier maiming Daniel for the rest of his life. And Daniel would be like, say, in a wheelchair the rest of his life. And Terry would enjoy knowing that he did that. And that every day Daniel would realize Terry was the one who did that to him. I think that would give Terry more satisfaction than killing someone. I don't know. I'd be interested to see how that fight would go down. One thing I'm hoping for, I don't know if this is a prediction. Tell me what you think of this. I am hoping that there is a scene where Terry catches Daniel's or Johnny's punch. I'd love to see them coming at him and he just catches their punch. I don't know. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think would happen? Would Terry go through with it if you were fighting Daniel and kill him?
So a lot of times in movies and shows, you have the villains and over and over it's let's make it hurt. Instead of just shooting you in the head, I'm gonna raise this giant sword for 30 seconds and give the other hero enough time to come in and save the day. So that's kind of what Terry is. He takes the long way, and I feel like, by him doing that in Karate Kid 3 in the tournament, that's why he lost the tournament, because he kept delaying the win. So that's why he lost. I feel like he's gonna start Cobra Kai doing that same thing because that's just who he is. But I feel like he's gonna learn. Like I think he's gonna lose one of those times. Maybe not at the tournament, but during a fight or something, he's gonna be doing that tactic that as you said, like trying to not finish the person, but trying to just torture them and keep going. But then eventually by extending the fight, he's giving himself more time to just lose. So I feel like he's going to eventually get to the point where he's like, I've had enough. I'm not doing that crap anymore. And now I'm just going to end it. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like is going to happen eventually. I don't think he's going to start that way with Cobra Kai. I think that'll be like an arc that he goes through.
That's interesting. Who do you think that he would do that to?
I don't know. I mean, it's tough right now because the only people who obviously killing would kind of be a thing, Daniel and Johnny, are the main guys who's poses threats, and we have the kids, but we know I don't think he's that evil. Hopefully not. Right. I mean, imagine Terry Silver like kidnaps Bird or something. Like, nah, we don't want to get to that.
Oh, yeah. Well, what about other people? Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You alluded to it before, the relationship between Terry and KREESE. Is there a situation where their friendship would, I don't know what you call it, be on the rocks a little? There'd be cracks in the relationship.
Yes, I think season 4 is a little too early for that, because they if they want to extend the show, I mean, there's no more villains after Silver. I mean, unless they create an entirely new villain, but you can't bring an old villain back because this was the last guy. So I think they need to get along in season 4, but I think you need like those like little, like kind of like in season 2 of Cobra Kai. They didn't have KREESE take over Cobra Kai from Johnny in season 2. Instead, what they did was they sprinkled those little subtle things of, even though we think KREESE is a changed man, Johnny thinks he's a changed man, but then you have those little things like at Coyote Creek telling Miguel to finish him, to Hawk, about Hawk. Like, I think we'll get those very, very, very little. And then I think season 5 will kind of dive more into it. But I think season 4 is a little too early to have them turn against each other.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And they may not. They may never. You know? Yeah. But yeah, I agree that it seems like they have a very strong bond. So if there were any cracks that were to develop, that would take some time, I think, and some interesting events to happen.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this. No, like a genuine question. How old is Terry Silver in Cobra Kai? Like in I know Thomas Ian Griffith is the same age as Ralph, which is probably like around, what was it, 50, 60?
I think, yeah, 59 or so, upper 50s.
Yeah. So do you know how old he is in the Cobra Kai Karate Kid time on?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I've been trying to get a hold of the actual shooting script for Karate Kid 3 with like no success. So the closest thing I have is the Scholastic novelization, which some people watching may have read. In that novelization, they describe Terry as being 40 years old. So I think that's maybe around where the character's supposed to be, like maybe upper 30s to 40 in 1985. So maybe like a few years younger than KREESE.
Wait, how old was KREESE in Karate Kid? He wasn't that old. He was in his 30s, right?
I think he was supposed to be about 40 or in his 40s.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Because that would have made, if they were in Vietnam in like 1968, 1969, I guess they could be about the same age, but they'd probably be, what, 18 to 20, early 20s. And so that would be, or maybe older. Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know. But yeah, I think KREESE was supposed to be about 40.
So Terry Silver is like about 70 in this universe. Is that right? That can't be like.
So maybe we've just invalidated the Scholastic adaptation of Karate Kid 3. I think my guess is like he's probably about KREESE's age, maybe a little younger. That's my guess. I guess we don't know. And I do think Thomas Ian Griffith was playing older. Like he's about, obviously, Ralph Macchio's age. So I think he was playing older than his real age. So the character is older than Thomas Ian Griffith. But about how much older, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess he is about, if KOVE is 74, I'm sure they're staying true to that age. So Silver must be like around 70, which is kind of crazy to think, because he obviously doesn't look it, Thomas Ian Griffith.
No, not at all. In fact, I love that they kept his hair, silver. He has like Terry silver ponytail, which is great. I know. I think like if they had kept like KREESE's hairs, like, he didn't go like gray or white or anything like that. So if they had kept Terry's hair like darker, yeah, I don't think he would look, I think it's that silver hair that makes him look older. I think that helps if he's playing a character that's older than what he really is. But yeah, I think it's a great look.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Badass.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
so we've been talking for an hour just about just Terry Silver just just going off. There was actually something I wanted to reveal to all of you guys, and Ken, I know we talked about this before we started. And I know you're finding this out for the first time too. I found out about this like right before the stream started. So
Okay.
this is everyone get ready. This is some season 4 news. This is some news on the I don't know what it's called. Tudum, what
Right. A Saturday, right?
this Saturday.
Yeah.
The time, I don't know the time. I think it's like either 10 a.m. or 12 p.m. Eastern. I really don't know yet, but I'll figure that out.
Mhm.
But if you guys don't know, there's a Netflix event on Saturday. And we're gonna be getting some Cobra Kai stuff, and we actually kind of just found out like what we're specifically getting, but not too specific. So on I don't know like the website, but so I don't have like a source or anything, but I'm sure this is true because it's going all over. There's the shows that are being listed to feature at this event, and next to Cobra Kai, it says a sneak peek that you don't want to miss. So not a trailer,
Mhm.
not a trailer you don't want to miss, but a sneak peek. Does that mean we're going to be getting like a clip? That'd be a little, I don't know.
That would be interesting. Like some kind of pivotal clip from like just a little bit of a scene or something like that.
I guess sneak peek could also mean trailer. Like here's a new sneak peek at the new movie, and then trailer. So I guess it could. I don't know. Sneak peek could be like both ways. What do you think?
Yeah, it's like it doesn't sound like a story trailer, like a full story trailer. Like it seems like if a sneak peek might be like another teaser, could be like a teaser trailer. Maybe it could be like a behind the scenes, like on the set type of thing, like while they were shooting, maybe some like quick interviews with the cast or something like that. But I would think they'd show like at least have a couple of clips from the show in it, like kind of like that last All Valley teaser. You know how they just showed like basically three more frames of each scene. So, maybe like a few more frames, for each scene, but maybe something like that. I don't know. What do you think? What does that say to you? Sneak peek.
I think we're gonna get the date. I think we're gonna get the official release date. John, Josh, and Hayden said they know the date. They confirmed that they know. They didn't tell us what it is, but they know the date. So I think we will be getting that at the end. And I think it'll be. I think whatever it is, we're gonna get season 4 footage. Like I'm leaning towards like more of a teaser trailer than a clip. But I could see them maybe doing a clip in the form of a teaser.
Right.
So like a little Terry. I'm just thinking about Terry Silver right now.
Right.
This has to have Terry Silver, right? Is that like even a question that it's not?
I don't know. It's interesting. Like, it should, if they want to keep up the Terry momentum, just something with Terry would be great. I know that last one we just got him tying his ponytail. But maybe something where we see him wearing something, like either it's a gi. We've seen him kind of in a gi with the behind the scenes stuff, but what if he's just wearing like normal clothes? Like what kind of clothes? Is he going to wear? Expensive clothes or shabby clothes, or I don't know. It'd be cool to see that. Or is there another character that Terry has been distracting us from that they could surprise us with and go like, oh my God, that person's going to be in there too.
Okay. Wait, but do you think they'll reveal that tomorrow though?
I don't know. It could
that's a good
you
point.
could go. I don't know. I'm not sure. This type of event, I know it's going to be crammed in with like so many other things. And I know probably they'll split it off and upload these videos separately, to their different channels or something. But it's possible. Like that could be the talk of the event if like some character is coming back that we didn't expect as well. Or maybe there's a quick scene between Terry and an unexpected character. I don't know. That could set people off. Or maybe they'll wait. I don't know if it's too early or not. But I don't know. What do you think of that?
That's interesting. I feel like I don't know. I'm trying to find like where this. I don't know where I don't know where the source is. I just saw like a photo that just said the one thing about Cobra Kai, but I'm curious if I see another show says take you something sneak peek at the very first footage released. Opening title. I'm trying to see like what other things there are, like how they're describing the other shows.
That's smart.
Like if they said trailer for the other shows, but sneak peek for Cobra Kai.
Right.
What does that mean in particular? But
right.
I don't know. I can't find it right now, but I do think we'll see Terry in some way. I think I don't know. Like I'm like on that train where like I want to see him, but I don't want to see him. Like
right.
I don't. Maybe just hear his voice. I don't.
Right.
I feel like just save him a little longer, like for the official trailer.
Right.
What
and I think that's a great point because Terry, we don't know how he's going to appear. We don't know what guises he'll appear in, and so yeah, I think the more they keep him sort of in the shadows. And keep us, anticipating, the better. I think that's the way Terry would have it too. He would want all this anticipation building as to who he was and what he was doing, and everything. So, yeah, I think I'm on board with you. I'm happy with like just the teases of Terry, like where we don't see his face, we don't have too much context, we don't know exactly what he's up to. So I hope if we see Terry, it will keep that going. And then at some point they're going to have to do a story trailer that will reveal a little more, but I think that will be really close to the season premiere.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I agree. And I found it really interesting what you said. I never thought about that. The fact that they're putting so much on Terry Silver. We're not even like thinking about anyone else being in the show.
Mm-hmm.
So what if it is kind of a little, not a misdirect, but a kind of it's Terry here, that when season 4 comes out and they bring something new in, a new character. I don't know why that you could just ignore that thing. My camera's not going to die. It's plugged in. I don't know why I get that. My battery's like plugged in. So it's just like whatever. But yeah, I think that's a good point where if someone new comes in and we're so focused on Terry that this new person coming in could be a complete surprise,
Maybe, could be. Who do you think could surprise the audience? Who would make sense?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Mike Barnes. We got. I feel like the two main ones are Mike Barnes and Julie. The two ones who we don't know anything about yet. You have Jessica, but I don't know if that really makes sense. Like, I don't know, but I feel like they'll be saved for season 5, honestly, because just to extend the story. This is Terry's season. I don't. Do you think we're gonna get like? I feel like no matter what, we're gonna want more Terry, even after season 4 comes out. I feel like we're not gonna be. I think it'll be good, but I think we'll feel like I want more. Like with KREESE, I know after I watched season 2, I was like I wanted more KREESE. He wasn't in a couple episodes. He was kind of in the shadows. And then season 3 gave us so much KREESE, and I was so happy with that. Do you think season 4 is gonna, because they have so many characters? It's not even they have so many characters that they have to work with, the younger cast, both dojos. How do you think they're gonna balance like screen time in the 10 episodes with Terry?
That's a really good question. I've been really impressed in how they've done it this entire time. Like, it's amazing the amount of story that's covered in a given season. they just get through it, and you really get to spend time with each of these characters. So we don't quite know. I know Martin Kove was kind of like, he retweeted someone saying that, oh, what if the All Valley tournament's like in the middle of the season instead of like the end of the season? But it seems like this whole season won't take place over a long period of time. Like, and it's probably be focused around the tournament. That I'm guessing. Maybe it'll go beyond that. So maybe story-wise, they won't necessarily have as much ground to cover as season 3, which was like an insane amount of story in season 3 that they got through. So maybe they don't have to get through as much story, so they can spend more time, with each character. And I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. I agree. I want to see as much Terry as possible. I hope they can squeeze him in as much as possible. But I know that they're really good writers, so I'm sure it'll feel balanced. It'll feel good. What do you think?
Do you think? I think. Well, no, I think we're gonna get a lot of him because they obviously love him so much. So it's just interesting, like how they're gonna do the balance because I know it's gonna be a great season, but characters like Miguel, who in season 1, he was the main. It was him and Johnny. It was you had Daniel and then Robbie, but I mean, right. I feel like season 1, Miguel, it was his story. Then season 2, you introduced TORY and Miyagi-Do, right. A whole new dojo. Then season 3, you had all these different story arcs going on. Season 4, right. Now you have Terry. I know they're gonna do it. I just want every character, especially Miguel, to have like that, like the screen time,
Right. I know, it's sort of like it's an embarrassment of riches. Like there's so many great characters, and
keep talking. I'm gonna try and fix this, but just keep talking.
Absolutely. Right. But yeah, I don't know what you guys think watching this, but I think there have been so many characters in this whole show, but everything seemed very balanced. Like I feel like even there are so many characters, the scenes matter. We feel like we get to spend a lot of time with each character. So I know that there's going to be a lot of stuff going down in season 4, but I bet we'll feel like we've had enough time with all the characters, and I think they're pretty good about that too. Like there's some characters that don't show up occasionally, and if there's other things to focus on. So, those kind of tertiary characters we might not see, but yeah, I agree. I want as much Terry as possible, and I'm so glad that season 5 is happening, and that Terry will be in that. So we have a lot of Terry to look forward to.
What? Spoiler?
Sorry. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that. Sorry, guys.
We can't talk about those spoilers. Terry being in season 5.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just don't tell them about Johnny dying in season 4. Oh.
No.
just kidding, everybody. Sometimes I have to be careful because like even when I joke, some people don't think I'm joking and they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just kidding." Even when I say like wild stuff like that. But
right. I know it's tough, but yes. I'm looking forward to Terry.
Yeah. I want to see, like we were talking about, like Terry kind of doing his own thing. I want to see, and I love this from Karate Kid 3. And there's one scene in particular. Jessica and Daniel, they're preparing for they're training for the tournament. They're on their run, and then Terry drives up in his car. Hey guys, what's up? Like, and he's like stalking them. He's literally like he's stalking them. Like it's on they think it's an accident but he's following them. So who I think he's gonna be like, I think he's gonna choose like one person to lock onto from the Miyagi Fang side. I don't know if it's Miguel. I don't know. Maybe it's Hawk. I don't know. I don't think it would be Dimitri. That would be a little too. Maybe I doubt it would be Sam, because I feel like Sam would be too smart for that. Maybe Hawk, but do you think like he's gonna do that thing where he kind of gets close with like the opponent? And I'm picturing a student, so I would say either Miguel or Hawk, kind of like when they're not training with Miyagi Fang, when they're not doing their training, like Terry is kind of like follows them, like, and it's like, hey, like I'm Terry, like listen, I'm different. I'm like, you don't know me, but I'm cool. I'm a nice guy. Like,
Right.
like you could trust me. Like, do you think that like we're gonna get that?
I think so. Oh yeah, I think so. I think that's a great point. I think that's just part of his character, and he loves to do that. I think the question is, who's he going to do it to? And you're right. I think all those people would make sense. But I think he would survey the situation and very much plan and strategize who would cause the most disruption, you know, who would cause the most pain to his enemies. And he would pick that person or persons. So I guess the trick is figuring out who would his enemies be, and who would hurt those enemies the most. Like what would do that, you know? And I don't know. I think part of that though is I don't know what do you think of all these Terry is the father of X character? Because people bring that up, and what you're saying, like, if that's the case, that plays right into it, because like, what if Terry's the actual father of someone on the show, you know? But I don't know. What do you think of all that discussion?
No, I am your father.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, I've talked about it. I made a video, like, because a lot of people, you know, I get a lot of comments like, is Terry Silver Tory's mom, or Tory's dad?
Right.
Is Terry Silver Miguel's father? All this stuff. So I made a video addressing it, and I'm like, you know, like some people will think and in a way they kind of do these little teases, like especially with Allie,
Right.
you know, like pediatric surgeon from
Mhm.
Denver, and then Miguel's surgeons from out of town,
Right.
blonde hair, turns around, it's nobody. It's literally like a joke, like a kind of prank on the fans. So I feel like
Right.
you know, they're trying to I don't think they're trying to make us think that Terry Silver is anyone's father or whatever, but like there's like things that people will like kind of grasp onto
Right.
and think that like this is because of this, but
Right.
I don't think it's gonna happen, because then it completely shrinks the universe. It makes no sense. Like no one could give me any explanation, and if anybody does, I will like shout you out. I will admit I was wrong. I don't think there's any explanation that Terry could be anybody's father without it being like an extreme coincidence, you know?
Right. Right.
Someone that we know, you know?
Right. Right. Yeah, I kind of agree. But one of the things that I love about Terry is that he could be no one's father, but he could also be anyone's father. Like he's just like that kind of all powerful, you know? It's sort of like if you told me he was like someone's father, I'd be like, oh, okay, fine, sure. Yeah, it's like he's been monitoring, like stalking, you know? He's actually been secretly stalking this whole situation for a long time. He knows everything about what's going on, and he knows that one of them is his kids, you know? That would be, but I agree with you. I tend to agree that he probably won't be. But the craziest one I heard was that he might be Amanda's father.
Oh God. Oh my! And it's all like some like elaborate plan to get close to Daniel, and then to
right. That would, I mean, it's crazy, but I mean that would shake things up.
That would definitely be interesting. Wow, Chris Klotz, thank you for the $50 super chat. Oh my God,
Nice.
that's freaking nuts. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I never heard that one, the Amanda one, but I mean, I get like, no, listen, I definitely think if if he was someone's father, it would obviously like be interesting for the story. It obviously would
Right.
have a lot of elements. But it is fun to talk about, even though it
Yeah.
won't happen. Like, yeah. Well, what if Terry Silver was Amanda's father? What do you think would happen?
Well, that would, I don't know. It's interesting. That would be, uh, I think he would give him a chance to try and play like the good person. To try, I mean, that would probably make Amanda conflicted, and who am I going to believe? And I don't know. I could see him trying to use that to drive a wedge between Daniel and Amanda, but I don't. It's just kind of like one of those fun ideas that people throw out, and I don't know exactly how that would tie in efficiently with the story, but who knows? I guess we'll see. But yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think Terry's almost more powerful if he doesn't have that kind of relationship with anyone, because I don't know. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say he has something going for him right now, and that's the fact that nobody knows who he is.
Right.
He like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's very important, and I'm sure he knows first impressions. None of the kids have any idea who he is, other than what the students have, or what Daniel has told them, and
Right.
even look at the parents. Carmen. I feel like Silver is gonna get to the parents, and gonna get to the people that Daniel and Johnny are close to. I could see
Right.
Silver getting close to Carmen, which is gonna piss Johnny off. It'll piss Miguel off. I'm not saying like close, like, oh, they're gonna become a couple, but I'm just saying like kind of manipulate Carmen into thinking he's a good person or whatever, and then
Or were they a couple? As another fan theory said, that they were actually, that Terry's Miguel's father. Yeah, I don't know. But
wow. Wait.
But yeah, I think you're totally right. Like, that is a great power that Terry has. Like, no one knows who he is. And you bring up a good point, working the parents. You remember in that last conference or whatever, where KREESE got up and spoke, and like the other parents don't necessarily think that Daniel is this great person. Like, they kind of see him as responsible for all this stuff, and they're like, that joke about, hey, you were the real bully, weren't you? And so like, not everyone sees Daniel necessarily as the good guy, and there's a lot of room for Terry to work.
Yeah. So you brought that up, and actually it's actually funny. I just watched Citizen Kane. I finished it this morning.
Uh-huh.
It took me a couple days to watch. Have you ever watched it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Oh, yeah.
so I have to write a report on it, so that's why I watched it.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of making me think, like, with that movie, it's not about the money or the wealth for him, for Kane. It's about controlling the public and like the public's view, and he does that through the paper, because everyone reads the paper, and they'll pretty much listen to whatever is put in there, because everyone it's a influencer. So with Silver, because he has access to all this money and all these resources, he doesn't really care about the resources and the money, because he has it. He cares about the power and controlling what people think about him, and what people think about. He wants people to think what he wants them to think, and I think with his money and his resources, he'll be able to do that. So that's just kind of my connection right there. Boom.
Yep.
College paper written.
Yep. There you go. Yes. I think you're right. That's exactly right. I think Terry only cares about money and status because it gives him power, and influence over people, and that's what he loves, is that power. And I love that connection. This is Citizen Kane. Isn't that great? You might be the first person in history, everyone watching this, take note of this moment that has directly connected Terry Silver to Citizen Kane successfully. And if you wrote that paper right now, I'd give you an A+.
Thank you. is what I said. No, I'm not, like, is what I said make sense?
Yeah,
Is
it makes
that-
perfect sense. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. I think you're right. Terry's like, I think Terry's broader. I think anything goes as far as any way he can get power and influence over people, he'll do that. You know, so it'll be fun to see exactly what he does with the Cobra Kai universe. This is so much fun. I can't wait to see. This is going to be like a kid in a sandbox with like all different like buckets and shovels and like, you know, this is going to be Terry just having a blast. I think.
So where do you think he is now? Like before Cobra Kai season 4? Like what's he doing? Where's he living? Is he still living in LA? Like,
yeah, I know. This is something I've been kind of wondering. It's like, is he going to still be living in the Ennis house, you know, which is the house that he lived in Karate Kid 3, Frank Lloyd Wright mansion. It's beautiful. Or is he going to be living someplace else? I don't know. I'm not sure, but I think the John, Josh, and Hayden, with all of these original characters, they have made such a point to go back to the locations, like the original locations featured in the movies, and really connect them to the movies as much as possible. And for anyone who loves Terry Silver, like, I don't see how you could disconnect Terry from the Ennis house. Like, that was like such a big like part. Dude, that's where his bubble bath is. That's where his sauna is. You know, he's got that amazing view of like overlooking downtown Los Angeles, and it's like a Mayan temple, you know, it's inspired by a Mayan temple. And so how could you not, like, unless they don't let them film in there, but I hope that he's still there. I think there's a chance that, you know, he might present himself as not the same person, or maybe having more hardship or something. But I think if that happens, hopefully, eventually, we'll see that he still has a quest of world domination and still lives in the Ennis house. What do you think?
I'm hoping we get like that backstory. I don't want him to just come out of nowhere and it's like, okay, we have no idea where he's living. We have no idea like what he's I'm sure we'll see where he lives and what he's doing. I really want to see him in the house. I agree with you. If we don't see him there, it's because of something with filming, because obviously they would want to go back there.
Right.
So I hope they go back and revisit that place. I mean, that was everything there was actually from the house, right? It wasn't none of that was like a set or anything.
I don't know. Like, I'm not sure about the bubble bath scene and like the sauna scene. I'm not sure if that was in the house or if that was just, those were sets inspired by the house. Like, they knew they were shooting in the Ennis house, so they built those sets, you know, for that. I'm not sure. I'd love to dig into this a little more someday, try and figure out, you know, where everything was shot. So, but it's possible it could have all been in the house.
I feel like it was for some reason.
I like it. Yeah, I would believe it. I would, and I hope that they could go back and film inside that.
Oh, that would be the best. Imagine a fight in that house. Oh wow.
Dude, you called. Oh my gosh. I love that idea. Thank you. You just put that out into the universe, and I love the idea. Are you kidding me? Like a fight down that hallway with like the glass in the windows and stuff. Oh man, that'd be amazing.
That's like the LaRusso fight, but like 1,000 times better. Yeah, like literally like destroying like all, like I could see like, I don't know, I could see him like in like fighting someone in his house and like grabbing all his like valuable like things and just like trying to like throw it at the person. Doesn't even think about it. I don't know. That'd be cool.
That, honestly though, the thought of that would be freaky. I'd be very afraid to fight Terry in his lair.
Oh
you know what I mean? Like, that would be very, I think if you want to try and put someone in peril, you know, put him up against Terry Silver in his lair.
Home court advantage.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I want to see that now.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Maybe we can make that happen. Yeah. John, Josh, and Hayden, listen to that. That idea is amazing. Maybe they've already done it. We don't know.
Maybe they have.
Hmm.
Do you think there's going to be a fight after the tournament or no?
Well, it gets back to like what you said about Karate Kid 3. What happened right after that tournament? You know, how did Terry act? How did he behave, with Mike Barnes and John Kreese? We kind of see him anticlimactically kind of take the shirt off his shoulder and kind of throw it down in disgust. That's all we've seen. But you'd have to think he got really upset. So depending on who wins or loses, I don't know. Maybe that's another level to Terry's game, is he's going to stir things up so much that no matter who wins or loses, there's going to be more fighting. Like, that's not going to settle it. Yeah, that's an interesting thought. Do you have a feeling on what's going to happen after that tournament?
Now the real pain begins, Danny boy.
I love that. I think we're gonna get a Karate Kid Part 2 mirror, and we're gonna take it to the parking lot. So, unlike season 1 with the tournament, I think this tournament, no matter what happens, we're gonna go to the parking lot, either a fight or a confrontation. Like, how sick would that be? Like, because when you're in the tournament, you have all these people, you have the rules, you have this, like the sensei's got to stand on opposite sides. I got chills when KREESE went up to Daniel and Miyagi in the parking lot in Karate Kid 2 and stared them down. I feel like that would be so cool. Like, now they're out in the real world. The rules are off. Terry, KREESE, and then Johnny, Daniel just staring at each other. Who, no matter who wins or who loses, they're still against one another.
Right. Yeah, I love that idea of mirroring Karate Kid 2. I think that's pretty cool. I know, and I wonder who's going to win. I guess we won't know until it happens. But geez, I know there's so many interesting possibilities. Well, do you think? I know that there are rumors. Do you think that any other characters are going to show up for the tournament in the Cobra Kai universe that we haven't seen much of?
I think we'll see Xander Stone. I think we'll see him pop in for the tournament. I feel like it's very important that they I know they have so many characters, so many stories, but I think it's really important if they want to make the story realistic. I feel like with season 1 in the tournament, I thought it was a great thing that they brought in Xander Stone to Penga Karate. They put emphasis on that just to give us a little more than Cobra Kai versus Robby.
Right.
So I think if they want to remain consistent, because like, what if like there's going to be so many other dojos entering? What if Cobra Kai or Miyagi-Do or Eagle Fang? What if none of them win? Like, like not just because they have a little deal doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win.
Well, do you think that that's kind of now that you brought that up, do you think that could be an angle Terry could work if it doesn't look like Cobra Kai is going to win? That he could actually somehow, I don't know how he could support this or whatever, but help a third dojo to win. That way, the agreement is kind of null and void. Like, Cobra Kai doesn't have to leave the valley. It's kind of like a defense move.
I can see him doing something like that. Like, even during another match that he's not involved in, still tampering with it.
Right, tampering, exactly. Yeah, because he's all about paying people off. So I don't know. It's kind of a wild idea. My weakness is I tend to think of Terry as all powerful. So so like Terry can do like anything he wants. So that would be something that in my brain, like he could figure out a way to have this eventuality planned where if it doesn't look like Cobra Kai is going to win, he's going to make sure that Miyagi-Do, Eagle Fang, that they don't win either. Even if he has to have like a third dojo, maybe that he owns, win, that we don't realize. I don't know. Just don't listen to me. I'm just talking.
Well, I definitely want to see Topanga Karate back, but I think this would be really cool if they went down this road, because right now the only main characters we have in Cobra Kai in the dojo are Robby and Tori.
Mhm.
I know we have the two new characters, Devin and Kenny. I like combine the names right there. I think at least one of them is joining Cobra Kai, but I feel like it would be really cool if Kreese and Silver kind of did like an all-star pickup thing where now they get Sean, Robbie's friend from the juvie. Then they get Xander Stone, the star of Topanga. Like they kind of start picking up these guys, you know, just like they did with Kyler. Oh, I forgot about Kyler. They have Kyler too.
Kyler.
They start picking up these people who we've seen in the past who have been good fighters but are not in a dojo. And they start like kind of bringing them in. And now it's like all these different characters who we've seen maybe never like on Miyagi-Do or Cobra Kai. And now like they're just being recruited.
Yeah, that could be it too. It's so interesting. And here's the thing with Terry Silver in the mix, you just don't know how this is going to play out. And the thing is, you may not realize what Terry's been doing until you get to the tournament, you know, and that's what's pretty cool, I think, is just, you know, what is the master plan, you know? And I hope you're right. I hope they really bring in those, you know, those characters and we get to see more of them. And it'd be cool to see Xander.
Yeah, definitely. Do you want to take some fan questions?
Sure.
Or some audience questions?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. So if you guys have any questions for me and Ken, Terry Silver, Cobra Kai, anything, then I hear a noise. Is there like...
Yeah, there's some guy working outside my window.
Okay.
Apologize for that.
No
Hopefully he'll finish soon. Power tool.
Yeah, I know. No worries. I get that too. It's like right when you're like about to record a video, it's like this loud.
Right.
It's fine though.
Do you want me to mute it? I'll mute it when I don't hear.
All right. So, let's see if we can get some good questions. This isn't a question, but you ever see that movie?
I love that movie. That is one of my favorite movie experiences of all time. It's amazing. Everyone go see The Room. The Room with Tommy Wiseau directing and starring. Yes, I love that movie.
You saw it in theaters? Oh, sorry. You know what? You don't have to.
Okay. Yeah, just let me know if it's annoying. No, I haven't yet. And because I've actually kind of recently moved back to LA, and I just saw that Tommy Wiseau is doing, I think it's this weekend or something, he's doing a screening of The Room. And I want to go so bad, but I kind of want to wait, you know, pandemic. I want to kind of wait a little bit because those screenings can be a lot of fun and pretty raucous. So I hear, but yeah, I own it. I've seen it a million times. I've hosted multiple Room screenings at my place over the years. And yeah, it's just fun. You obviously are very familiar with it, right, Drew?
So here's how I first got introduced to this. Have you ever seen like this guy edited Tommy Wiseau from The Room into Star Wars? Have you ever seen that?
Yes, I saw that. I loved it.
That's how I first was introduced to the whole thing. And I didn't know who this guy was. I didn't know what movie. I thought, like, I wasn't sure if like it was literally this guy making the parody for the Star Wars thing. I didn't know that these were clips being taken from an actual movie and put into there. And like, I just like now I swear to I always am quoting this guy. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. Like, oh hi, oh I did not hit her. It's not true. It's not hit her. Oh hi, Mark. Like, I love it. It's so funny because it makes no sense. I never watched the actual. I didn't watch the full movie. I watched clips of it.
Yeah.
But I love the Star Wars parody. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so that you're writing a report on Citizen Kane, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that for like a film class?
Yeah, it's like,
okay. If you're doing The Room, if you watch that movie, you could write a paper. You could write a master's thesis on all the ways that movie is absolutely wrong. And it's like amazingly wrong. Like everything about it is wrong. And it's just so fascinating to me because everything is wrong. And it's so funny. And like, it's almost, he's a genius at creating something that is just so wrong. It's just beguiling. I don't know. So I can't recommend enough. Definitely watch the whole thing. Definitely.
I will.
The whole thing. Watch the whole thing. Seriously.
It's like,
I think you'll like it.
I think what's funny about it is like it's supposed to be like a drama, but it's just funny. They're trying to be serious, but it's just like, I don't know.
Well, you know, that's what makes it great. Like it's funny that it's like the Star Wars parody, because a lot of bad movies out there, like really bad movies, Mystery Science Theater movies, are science fiction or there is something like that. This is an actual like drama, like romantic drama that's like supposed to be very serious, Oscar winning. Like that he submitted this for the Oscars, and that just makes it so unique and so much funnier and better because he just poured everything into it. I think he spent $6 million of his own money making The Room. So, and read the book, The Disaster Artist. There's the movie with James Franco, but like, if you love The Room, definitely read that book. It's such an amazing making of, and just how crazy things went behind the scenes. So yeah, Drew, watch the movie. Seriously, The Room, everyone go watch it.
I will. I mean,
Yeah.
Look, he's kind of like, in a way, you know, the black hair, the black long hair, Terry Silver. What if Tommy Wiseau was Terry Silver? Boom.
Okay, wow. Okay, so everyone take note. If you've been watching this, this is an interesting day because Drew has connected Terry Silver to the greatest movie in history, potentially Citizen Kane, and to potentially the worst movie in history, The Room. Terry is all encompassing. He goes from the best to the worst. Yes. So amazing job, Drew.
I'll do like a whole like analysis, like comparing. Okay, let's compare Citizen Kane and Terry Silver to The Room, and that is funny though. It is considered the best movie, and then The Room is kind of considered the worst movie. So that's very funny.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Whoever made that comment, I like it was just Dan. That's just funny. I don't know if he like was if he was actually trying to get something serious out of that, but
right there you go, Dan.
Boom. So okay, so let's see if we got some questions. So, Saif asks, who are the okay, who are you guys predicting to win season 4 tournament? Who you got?
Jeez. I honestly don't know who is going to win, but I don't think Daniel is going to win. Like his dojo, I don't think Miyagi-Do. I don't know what it'll look like by the tournament or whatever, but I don't think he's going to win. This is my personal prediction, but I could be wrong. I honestly have no clue. I think there's so much uncertainty by throwing Terry Silver into the mix that it's hard to predict right now. We don't know all the ingredients yet, but that's my guess is Daniel's dojo will not win. What do you think, Drew?
Now, how about Johnny? You think are you kind of putting them together? Or?
They're together now. They may stay together. Yeah, they may stay together. I don't know, guys. Terry's all about divide and conquer. So Daniel and Johnny could work together. But I think there's a chance that something could come up that might fracture their joint venture.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's so hard because like I'm not gonna be specific about that, but
right.
You know, there's been a leak that's gotten out that like it's kind of just become general news.
Okay.
Know? Right? Are you kind of familiar with what I'm talking about?
I'm a huge fan of this, but I've been trying to avoid leaks, so I don't know exactly what that leak is.
I'll just say like the geese.
Okay. Like there's a photo with the cast wearing geese or something like that. Is that the leak?
It's like kind of like what gi it is. That's just
okay.
So
yeah. Okay.
Without being specific, someone
Yeah.
it's actually freaking insane. I don't know how they were able to do this, and I'm surprised Terry Silver didn't actually get leaked from this, but someone went onto the set of the finale, like, and they went, like, they parked like outside the trailers and
Right.
caught footage of the cast walking in their All Valley tournament geese. They got Johnny, they got Daniel, they got Bert, Miguel, Moon
Oh
was
dear.
there.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I'm like, and then they
Yeah.
got kicked out. But the fact that they were able to get clips, and one of the some of the clips like actually revealed something, but I'm surprised. Like, it could have easily been Thomas Ian Griffith could have been caught, and then
Yeah.
this was like way before we found out that he was
Wow. Oh
that
my
would have been
gosh.
that would have been huge. Yeah,
That's insane.
it's a video. You never seen it? You never saw it?
Oh no. Like I know. Gosh. See, I don't know. Like, I guess I should be watching this stuff because I'm like creating content, but like, no, I haven't seen it. And if I saw that there was like an article or a post, Reddit post or something about it, I'd probably avoid it because I wouldn't want to know, just for my own like enjoyment of the story. But okay, so it's out there and people can go seek it if they want. But basically what you're saying is that situation is possible, that maybe things by the time of the tournament aren't exactly the way they are right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just the fact that everybody's like, everybody's always sending me stuff, so it's kind of inevitable that if something gets out, I'm just gonna like get it, even if I'm not looking for it. So
right.
that
Totally understandable.
That kind of sucks, but it's unfortunate because, like, I mean, there's like little leaks, you know, like there was a video posted early on. It was literally Robbie with a backpack, and it's like, oh, okay, Robbie has a backpack, and then now you get a leak of the All Valley tournament, and it's like something that now you're kind of just waiting for that moment to happen, you know, because you know it's gonna happen because of the leak, and you're just waiting for it. It's like it's unfortunate, you know. I don't know.
I know, geez, all you crafty people sneaking into the sets and getting video. My goodness,
How? It's like,
yes,
it's crazy.
I know, it's crazy.
I guess you could just literally go to the location, like, you know.
Yeah, probably now that it's on Netflix, back in the YouTube Red days, I don't know if anyone would be doing this, but now that it's on Netflix, they're getting all this stuff. So okay,
back when I was a YouTube Redder.
Yes. What was YouTube Red? Did such a thing exist? Yes, it did.
Oh my God, I feel like people don't even know. It was YouTube Red, then Premium.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, the days.
And then no more, sort of, for scripted shows.
Big mistake for them, but better for Cobra Kai and the show itself.
I think so. I mean, this is great. Like, you did a video about, like, obviously they got their deal renewed. This could be going on for a little bit. And did you say something too about like news about season 5 filming?
Yes.
Or something? I don't know what it is, but you mentioned that right before.
Yeah, that was part of the couple announcements. So yeah, we didn't even talk about that. So okay. What's on Netflix? Are you familiar with them? Like,
what's on Netflix?
Yeah.
You mean like on Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're pretty reliable, and so they got, like, from another source that season 5 production is starting September 20th. No, that's not possible. Wait, what? Oh no, I guess that it already got started.
It already started?
Yeah. Oh wait, I'm like forgetting the date. No. Well, Frank Helmer, who's the costume designer, actually posted a photo and said Cobra Kai season 5 tomorrow, day 1, and this was like a couple days ago. And I don't think he's talking about filming,
right?
But production, meaning like, working on the costumes, the sets, right. And it also says here the current end date for filming is scheduled for December 10th, which means that they're probably going to start filming soon. And I think this was kind of expected. I definitely had a feeling that if they were going to announce season 5, then that they would start filming before season 4 came out. Cause also they're filming in Atlanta. They're not going to want to film during the winter, you know, because what will happen is like they'll finish the scripts within the next month, and then they can't film January. They can't film December, January, February. It'll probably be, does it snow in Atlanta, Georgia? Right? It does, right?
I think it can, but I don't think it snows much.
Okay, but it gets cold. It gets cold though.
Yeah, it can get chilly. Okay,
so they're probably just you know, shooting for that fall time, and it's interesting because that it's kind of, that's what they used to do back in the YouTube days. They would film in the fall.
Right.
Season 4 was the exception where they filmed. I get actually they did film January, February. They filmed January through like April, I think.
Right.
So, yeah.
So that's interesting. But maybe it was a different. I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah, I guess they were able to fake it. If it looked different, they were able to fake it. But yeah, something else though that it doesn't surprise me is because we're hearing lots of stuff like Jolo and like the other actors. I mean, they're rising in prominence, and they might be booked for other projects coming up, and so. It doesn't surprise me that they might be trying to get this season in as soon as possible, because like all these opportunities are kind of blowing up right now for the cast. So they might be trying to kind of work with everyone's schedules and, film the season now. And, maybe if they can lock it in, it'll be a little cheaper for the production too, because, say if Jolo goes on to be a, huge DC superhero star, I mean, he's going to get more expensive. Yeah.
And Martin KOVE is on Dancing with the Stars right now. So
that's right. Yes, he is.
Did you see that?
I saw your you did a video where you were doing the live reaction. That was awesome. I love that.
I loved it. I was so. Did you see it? Wait, you saw like my reaction to him
dancing? Yeah, that's funny.
Did you see my reaction to the score that they gave him?
Gosh, I don't know. I don't think so. What can you do it right now?
Well, okay. So they gave him, so basically everybody was getting 7s, 6s, and then KOVE went on. I'm like, okay, like he's getting this, and he's getting the 8. They start giving him 3s and 4s. He got the lowest, and I started. If you go back, you'll see. I'm like, Just you go back and see it.
Okay.
You'll
for sure.
I went from here to there. I mind blown. I'm like, how could they do that to him? And he's such a sweet guy. I don't know. I felt so bad for him. He tried his best. Oh, I found out. I thought that like they had like a couple weeks to work on it, but I found out he only had 4 days to do that.
Jeez.
4 days. Wow.
Oh, that's intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's geez, that's kind of crazy. Well, I remember when Ralph Macchio was on there back, gosh, when was that? Was that 2012 or something? Like 10 years ago, he was on Dancing with the Stars. And, I was kind of hoping he'd stick around for a long time, but, I don't know how they score these things. I'm not a dancer. I would have given Martin KOVE 10s, but.
Me too.
Yeah.
It was a cool thing though. I liked it. And just as a fan, like having him say like this fear does not exist in this ballroom, does it? I loved it.
Yeah.
So good.
That is good.
Bryce Productions, thank you for the 2 super chats. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you. And then Andrew, thank you for the super chat. Love the videos. Tell Ken I love his too.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoy them.
There we go. Yeah. I think a lot of people really enjoy your videos, especially the Terry Silver ones, like because you're kind of, that's like your thing, that's like your niche.
Never expected it, guys. I'm just so glad like other people can relate to it. And like when I did it, I just thought I was solo, thought I was on my own, just doing it for myself. And we'll see who in the world stumbles across this video. But I'm so glad that everyone here is so into it too. And so thank you. It warms my heart to know all of you.
All right, I got a question. Let's this will get like a very nerdy question. Okay.
Okay.
Ken Cole is in the Cobra Kai universe. Not like you aware of Cobra Kai as a television show. Like you're an actual character in here. Who's your character? What are you doing? Are you in a dojo? Are you not in a dojo? Who are you interacting with? Who are you related to? Boom.
I can't talk about that.
Oh my God. Confirmed. It's confirmed, everybody. Season 5, Ken Cole's the main villain.
Oh no. That's funny. That's funny. I'll say this. I'm working on a project now. And I told Drew about this, but I can't give too much info. Maybe in about a month, that might answer that question a little bit. It's just it's like a short film. So yeah. So I'll defer whenever that's done. I'll let that be my answer.
Ooh, okay. So
if that makes sense.
So where do we get updates to that? YouTube, Instagram, Twitter?
YouTube, community tab, Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I'll put stuff up on Instagram. I'll reach out to you directly, Drew. If you, I'll let you know. Privately first and everything. But so it should be fun. I think people will get a kick out of it. If you like Cobra Kai and the Karate Kid, this will hopefully you'll enjoy this. You'll get a kick out of it, and it should either quench your thirst a little bit as you're waiting for season 4, or it'll make it worse. I don't know. So we'll see.
Yeah. You want to take a couple more questions?
Yeah.
You cool for that?
Yes.
All right, cool. Let's see. This is a good question. All right, Saif Khan asks, Daniel and Johnny are getting together for episode 1 as a dojo. How important is it for them to put the past behind them and work together for the present situation? Good question.
It's a great question. I think it's extremely important. I think if they want to work together, they need to put all that emotional stuff behind them, because they're going to need their clear eyes to see what the true threats are. And it might be difficult to do that now that Terry Silver's involved. So yeah, I think that's extremely important, that they're going to need to put their past, behind them in order to do well. I don't know. What do you think, Drew?
Yeah. So I think they've always had similar goals, what they're trying to accomplish, but it's always just been a matter of how they accomplish it. So Daniel has his ways of, balance and not being the aggressor. Johnny is not about balance and being the aggressor, but ultimately they're trying to do the same thing. So I think they just have to kind of understand that they both have the same goal, and maybe one way wasn't working, another way wasn't working, but maybe they can find a balance between the Cobra Kai ways and the Miyagi-Do ways, and even to kind of create like an Eagle Fang, like a mixture. Like be a badass, but don't be like a douchebag. Don't like just hurt people to hurt them for no reason. Be aggressive, but don't be a bully. And I think Daniel would appreciate those lessons. And then just a combination, but also, even though balance is good, inner peace, sometimes, as Daniel says, sometimes the fight comes to you and you got to be ready. So that's what I think.
I love it. Yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
Yes. I think you're exactly right.
I think so too. No.
Yes.
Let's see if there's any more questions. Okay. This is a interesting one. It's like a theory. Kyle Frazier says, what if Miguel turns his back on Johnny and joins Cobra Kai like Daniel did in Karate Kid 3, and Terry reveals himself to Miguel like he wanted to see Miguel Like he just wanted to see Miguel injuring himself. Okay, so like Daniel in Karate Kid 3, but now with Miguel. What do you think about that?
And so basically, are they saying that Terry might do sort of a Quicksilver method, where by training with Terry, he'd kind of injure himself?
I think that's what he's getting.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating. It's going to be interesting to see how different Terry Silver is after 35 years. He might be still interested in, torturing kids and teenagers. I don't know. But yeah, Terry works that way. Like, I think he could present himself in a way where he's friends with someone and then really just be wanting to hurt them. So it would be a shame for Miguel to get physically injured again, after all he's been through, falling off the balcony and, kind of working back to where, he could actually get on his feet again. That'd be too bad. But, I don't think Terry necessarily cares about that. If Miguel is Terry's enemy, I think he could do that, but he might try to win Miguel back.
Yeah.
And he might not be interested in hurting Miguel. He might be more interested in hurting Daniel and what he's doing. I don't know. What do you think, Drew?
So I think Terry is gonna definitely. We were talking about like the stalking, like how Terry was following Daniel, in the car. I think he'll pull those moves with Miguel. I don't think Miguel's joining Cobra Kai. I don't think Terry's going to be like training him, but I think Terry's just going to be trying to get his trust. In a way, I do think that this is going to apply to Robby, because in Karate Kid 3, it's not like Terry had any students. Now he actually has like students who are there learning the Cobra Kai ways. So I think he'll be taking Robby in and teaching him Quicksilver on his own, as we talked about, kind of not really running it too much by KREESE. He's not trying to betray KREESE or anything. He's just doing his own thing. Takes Robby, teaches him the Quicksilver method. That's where we get those mirrors. And yeah, that'd be kind of cool if he's training both Miguel and Robby, like, or kind of like playing with both of them at the same time, which that actually reminds me of a theory, or not I guess it was a theory. So I was looking in the comments section of the very first Cobra Kai teaser, and this, maybe you remember this teaser. This was the teaser where they didn't really reveal faces, but you saw Johnny training a kid and you saw Daniel training a kid. You didn't see faces though. And right. I saw one comment, which I thought this was pretty cool. Obviously we know the kid Johnny was training was Miguel. The kid Daniel was training was Robby. But I saw one comment that said, what if Daniel and Johnny are training the same kid and they're like learning both the Cobra Kai ways and the Miyagi-Do ways?
Interesting. Yeah.
So maybe like that'll be kind of what is happening here. Like Terry's training both Robby and Miguel. I don't know. That's interesting. And like you said, it's like Terry can, if no one knows who he is, he might be able to present himself to people differently, and they don't know that they're interacting with that same person. It's I don't know. Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah. I can't wait to see what happens. I don't know what Terry's going to do, but it does seem like with that teaser, it does seem like the Quicksilver method will come into it somehow. So, or a new version of it, Definitely. You want to take one more question?
Sure.
Is that cool?
That's cool.
All right. Let's get a good one. Let's get like the greatest question of all questions. Like, let's get a Terry Silver question to end off the Terry Silver discussion. So, let's see. I'm gonna scroll up and see if there's any too, but I know it takes a second for the chat to load. Let's see. See some Miguel relating to Terry Silver. We kind of talked about that.
Right.
Do you think Terry Silver will use Kegel? Yes, Terry Silver will use Kegel.
Without a doubt.
Wait, I think it was Watch Party. This is kind of funny. Watch Party made an observation. Tory Nichols could be spelled like this, and then nickels are silver.
Ooh, that's a good connection. Yeah, that's a good connection.
Coincidence?
That's interesting. It's like, yeah, a lot of people, I mean, from the get-go, I think people have been saying that Tori is either related to Terry Silver or she's a lot like Terry Silver. Like they see a lot of similarities in their personality. So it'd be interesting to see what happens when they get together. I don't know if they're related. Tori, though, seems to have like a heart. Like she really cares for her mom. You know, and she's just kind of, the reason she's angry is she's just wanting to protect what's hers and everything like that, which might be a little different than Terry. Terry, I think, might fight and be brutal for different reasons, but I think they're both very intense. So I don't know. What do you think? Is that a family trait, Drew?
Well, I think this is an obvious connection. I mean, just think about if you look at Ray from Ghostbusters. Right? Ghostbusters came out, what was it, in the 80s? Karate Kid came out in the 80s. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm just getting at the point where everything just, you could just really say anything connects to anything. I mean, that would be pretty funny though. That is kind of like that is a little bit of a coincidence that nickel, silver. It's a little bit of it. I don't know, but
yeah, it is. I think that's a really great connection. Yeah, Watch Party's really good at coming up with those connections. So we need to watch and see what happens with Tori and Terry.
I'm your father.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that was a great discussion, right? Did we cover?
Okay.
I think we covered everything Terry Silver pretty much.
My gosh, was that really 2 hours?
It didn't feel like it.
No, not at all.
Felt like a minute.
Yeah, it did. I could keep going for another 5 on Terry, for sure. Yeah, man, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't even think we covered like a quarter of it. That's just so much.
Or a nickel of it.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally.
Oh no.
Sorry, I had to get that in.
That's great.
I had to get that in there. I was a little too late, but
that's great. I love that. Yeah, it was fun, Drew.
Yeah,
we should do it again for sure.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
You bet.
Definitely, I'm excited for your project that you're working on. We could talk about that when it gets confirmed. We could talk about more Silver, you know, whether definitely after season 4 comes out. But yeah, we'll do something in the future. I hope everyone enjoyed this. Cobra Kai Kid and Ken Cole, the collab. This was fun. This was fun though, and I mean, it's always fun to talk Terry Silver and with a big Silver fan like you.
Of course. Oh, it's an honor to be here. I've really enjoyed your videos and really enjoyed talking to you about Terry Silver and everything regarding this universe.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a penny for every time we said the word Terry Silver, or if I had a nickel.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's great.
Oh man. Well, do you want to tell everybody where they could check you out? YouTube.
Yep, YouTube. My channel is Ken Cole. Just come on down. I put up a new video yesterday on who would win in a fight, Terry Silver, John Kreese, Colonel Dugan, or Sato. So there's a new one out you can check out. But yeah, I've got lots of Terry Silver videos and Cobra Kai videos and everything. Would love to see you on the channel and hit subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter, Kennergy Cole on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So love to connect with you guys.
Awesome. And I got the link in the description below so you can check out Ken's channel. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching. And remember, Cobra Kai
Never dies.